But it's, again, it just tells the story of it's the evil and the ugliness of people's hearts these days is everywhere.
This is Franky Rose's Think Tank. Here's your host, Franky Rose.
Hi, guys. Well, it looks like there's a little bit of movement in the courtroom, so let's check it out. Hey, Nicole. Sorry about that, guys. I had to pop out for like 2 seconds. How you doing, James and Nicole? Good to see you guys. I'm just arranging myself here. Lordy, lordy. Okay, get down, Jess. Oh. So what do you guys think so far? He could be James. Oh, my Lord. Okay, ladies, you can sit down beside me. Just going to mute for a second. I have no idea what we're looking at. I have no idea. Unreal. Drunk cameraman. Okay, here we go, guys. I have no idea, James. Curtains? Oh, looky. It's hurting my eyeballs. Yeah, that's an interesting window cover. I'm going to mute out because they are like they've got Look at the size of this thing. It's massive out there moving our snow. So I'm just going to turn it off. Anybody else having problems with their apps other than me? I've had to reset everything, and some things I'm having like complete issues with. Are you too, Nicole? Or is that Yapper? Oh, here we go. Facebook. I just couldn't get onto my Discord, and I was having problems with my YouTube.
When I was moving to admit Exhibit 38, B, C, and D, I said 35 B, C, and D, and Your Honor repeated back that Exhibits 35 B, C, and D were admitted. So we just need to clarify that on the record that it was 38 B, C, and D, and that that is the exhibit number that is admitted.
I see. Okay. So that was just simply a mistake in terms of using the number. All right. And I assume, Mr. Johnson, you understood it to be the Exhibit 38.
I didn't know.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the clarification. I will ask the record to reflect that Exhibit's 38.
Yeah, I couldn't get onto my Discord for a while. It's like, what?
Thank you for the clarification. All right, let's bring in the jury.
Yeah, he's not very smiley. Lordy, lordy. You should see the size of this freaking thing moving snow out there. Like, it's industrial size. Like, it's something you'd see on a site. Not interesting. A full screen of, like, it looks like a fan. My eyes, my eyes. James. Did you look up that case I was talking about? Like, I'm all about like watching the Scottish crime right now. Like her husband's hands? Oh, good Lord. Oh, my goodness. 10 years ago or so? It was right on like a bit of a peninsula, and it had that great big Ferris wheel. I would be a ride. Yeah, maybe, I'm going to say 10, 15 years ago. The Royal Ruffle.
I apologize, members of the jury. I just brought you in. I didn't realize there's something I need to take up with counsel in chambers. I apologize. I'll send you back into recess. All right.
Oh, good Lord. Now they're now they're getting a recess because the judge isn't organized. Lordy, lordy, people, get it together, man. Just get it together. Is it Lithuania that they come and they work? It sounds like there was one particular group, James. I knew I should have wrote it all down.
Oh, this is the council chambers.
Okay, council and chambers. With this particular girl, James, they removed like hands and stuff like that. They put a head in, well, hers, in a bag, and then they went to a pier and threw it off. And then the trunk of her, they put in a suitcase and then threw the suitcase out. And of course, it washed up. But literally, these guys, they did this, and then they put her in a tub and dismantled. And then bit by bit, they would jump on public transit on a bus with the suitcase or with this little bag and tossed it into the water. And of course, kids found the head on a beach. And I can't remember where. Might even have been oh, good Lord, like a place where everyone docks their boats. My eyes. It was a really interesting case. And I thought, well, I don't think the place is that big. Maybe with that description, we might be able to. Aberdeen is a harbor city. Okay. And is it there that they've got that big Ferris wheel that they were working? Like, they worked for this fair. And they thought that this girl had a whole bunch of money. So they were trying to get the money that she didn't have. Dandy. I get sand. Okay, so it would be there if it's only 2 minutes from the harbor. Yeah, I don't want fish poo in my hair either. Mexi, sand is not petrified fish poop. It's not. Yeah, I didn't think there could be too many cases where this stuff was happening. Agree to disagree. All righty then, friend. Not in Mexi's mind, JJ. She says it's poop. Petrified fish poop. I agree to disagree. Oh, Lordy. Right? Lordy. I will agree to disagree. Yeah, I just didn't think there'd be too many like headless stories. True story. Yeah. Petrified fish.
Other than the attorneys, and Mr. Howard, I need to clear the courtroom to address an issue. So, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to clear the courtroom and if
What? Oh my word, these people are gonna make me drink. Yep, everything that's ever lived on the planet drank the same water we do. Yeah, million upon millions of years gathered up poo. Franky is mad. You're such a love. Oh, Lordy. Yeah. Poosh dung. Fish dung. So, honestly, I would not want to be swimming behind Moby Dick then. That just sounds like a lot of trouble. Oh, I wish I could remember the. I'll pay closer attention. Or in for that matter, yep, or above. Oh, that's a good. Oh, no. Yeah, he got spit out, didn't he? Hey, Shauna. Just in time to talk about fish poop. We're waiting for the court. And of course, you know, convos will go a little sideways at the think tank periodically. Oh, my word. Okay, so are you kind of remembering it a little bit, JJ? A little bit? Yeah, she was telling people she had something like $10,000 in her account. So these guys were after her bank card. It is, isn't it, actually? There is that. There is that. It's good for your plants. Yeah, I thought so. I thought so. Yeah, they go a little sideways too, don't they? Might as well make them fun. I mean, really. Good Lord. We've had some interesting members only. We deal with all this harsh stuff 24/7, so may as well, right? Oh my word. Yeah, the head thing and the hands. And yeah, they were after this $10,000 they thought that she had. And the first time she gave them the wrong bank number. So they came back a little cranky. And she thought, okay, I'll give them the right one this time. And maybe they won't harm me. Well, they did. Yeah, and the fish poop. Oh, good Lord. Yeah. Monkeys with herpes. Don't mess with the monkeys, guys. I don't know how the hell that would happen. I don't even want to know how that will happen. And I'll leave it there because they'll take my moolah away for this. I thought so, Mexi. I thought so. I think you're right. Oh, look. Thanks, Dandy. That's the one. Yeah, that's the one. Orbroth, is that close? I think this is the one here, JJ. I can't show you that one on here. BBC will like strike me in about 2 seconds flat. They're the only ones that have ever struck me. And that was, believe it or not, on when the Queen passed, which I thought would be fair game for everybody to share. But no, BBC says, don't follow, don't do nothing. Yeah, I think you got it there, Dandy. Boom. Okay. Okay. I'm pretty sure that is the one there. Just down the coast. Nicole, just push poop. Oh, Lordy, guys. Yeah, but there's other stuff. Like, don't forget, fish screw in that water, guys. Like, there's other stuff in there. Don't drink it. There's a reason it's salty. I'm going to get myself in trouble. Lordy, Lordy. Yeah. Ew. Ew, yuck. Yeah, it does. It gets in your shoes, it gets in your clothes, it gets in your hair, it gets between your fingers, it gets everywhere. Yeah, there is a reason. Dandy. Oh my God. Right. Oh, Dandy. Oh, Lordy. Yeah, just great. Oh, Lordy, here we go. Oh, here we go. Oh my God, that is too funny. Look what happens when we're left to our own devices. Yeah, nothing but the straight facts on the think tank. Oh, Lordy. I'm spoiling myself. I gotta pop. Straight facts. Just some of the facts people might not want to learn. I don't know why. I don't know why. Mm-hmm. Oh, God, James Fluffers. Mm-hmm. That's right. Oh, my word. Yeah, it's not the people that come in we have to worry about. Oh, Lordy. Oh, my word. This is why I enjoy you guys so much. You think like I do. Oh, my word. Yeah, maybe once upon a time. How come this is buckling? There's my concern for the day. The buckle. Buckle. I'm not getting into that convo. Yeah, I can't explain my teenage years. Oh, my word. Okay, I got time. I'm going to do this. Maybe. So this is pretty much another unorganized court. Yes, nature is great. Yeah, we're straight educational here, guys. Yeah, straight facts. We'll talk about Mother Nature and all of her gifts. Gifts with a T. Oh, my word. Oh, I bet that does. I bet it does, James. I can't do Red Bull and that stuff. I'm sure it's like a heart attack in a bottle. It's been a while for the other things. But man, were they fun. Yeah, once upon a time. Oh, my. So what do you guys think about this trial here? Is this the one we're going to stick with? I know I bounce around a little bit when I don't find the one that I think is interesting enough. Are you guys thinking this is interesting enough? Oh, hey guys. So that all the different parts that they found on in that park on Long Island, they've made an arrest. I'm not sure what was going on there. I made an arrest. Okay, I'm going to have to, guys, I have to So I don't know what's happening. They are just like gone. Yeah, Dad thought that was pretty funny. And he's 80. Said, don't talk about that stuff in front of women. I'm like, I am a woman. It is. It's a gift and it's a curse. Lordy, lordy. They better hurry, because if the conversation gets any more twisted, they're gonna just like say, no, you don't need to show this particular stream there, Frankie. Oh my word. So what is happening in this courtroom? I wave my weirdo flag like a freak. I am. I've made peace with it. Right. Oh my word. Oh my God. Too funny. Too funny. So these guys are going to come back and say, well, the day's over. Crazy. So yeah, they did find the people who did this. What's this? People are finding alarming notes in sealed food. What? Shocking childhood friends of Stephen Stearns reveals unbelievable information. I have no doubt. Yeah, might have to take a look at that fairly soon. It's been a bit. Stranded sloth? No. I want a sloth. Is Danny Masterson transitioning? What? Oh, Clinton. Oh boy, that's not what it looked like when I first looked at it.
And I'm utilizing him as being an alter. He didn't do anything bad. I'm not upset with him, but he initiated an interaction with one of the attorneys while on break, initiated a conversation with the attorneys. I had just gotten done telling the jury why nobody will be talking to you. And as I always advise you, not to discuss the case with anyone else. The attorneys did nothing wrong. In fact, they brought it to the court's attention. So nobody really did anything significantly wrong, but I've excused him just for his inability to follow my orders about not talking with the parties about the case, and just to ensure that there's no appearance of improper communication. So that's how we're moving forward. I just want to leave you what's happening. Okay, if we could bring Mr. Prado back in and continue the cross-examination.
Alrighty then. That didn't make a lot of sense to me. He just gave like very little information.
Good afternoon, Mr. Prado. I'll remind you that you're still under oath. Cross-examination, Mr. Johnson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Potter.
Good afternoon.
So, you started your friendship with, or your relationship with Kennedy in April of 2020.
About that, yes, sir.
Prior to that, you and Ms. Howard would get together from time to time, correct?
That's correct.
At that time, how frequently would you get together?
Every few weeks.
And this is prior to April of 2020?
No.
You stated that at the start of the relationship, she was not thinking about divorce, is that right?
I didn't say that.
Said the idea of divorce was not discussed?
I'm not sure what she was thinking. We didn't discuss it until a little bit later.
So, the idea of divorce was not discussed when you first rekindled the relationship, correct?
That's correct.
So was it more of a friends with benefits kind of deal?
No.
And you knew that she was in a 27 or so year relationship with Ms. Howard?
I did.
You said that over the course of your relationship, you developed a strong love for her, correct?
Yes, over the time that I knew her.
And you stated that you were going to contribute to the earnest money as well in the house?
That's correct.
Was it your understanding that you were going to be moving in at some point with Ms. Howard?
Possibly down the road.
Were you living in the house at the time?
Yes.
Was it a loft or a house or what kind of house?
No, little log home.
Now, you said that she was happy and excited when council asked you her emotional state on February 2nd of 2021. Is that what you said?
Yes.
That she had plans for the future
Yes.
and you attended her funeral.
I did.
I noticed you're wearing a ring on your finger. How long after her passing did you get married?
Objection, relevance?
Goes to credibility, though.
Assisting.
Do we approach on?
Yes.
Approaching. Approaching. Alrighty then. I'm not so much liking just staring at a blank white wall. Hey, come on. Well, hello, Douglas. Hello, hello. Good morning to you. My eyes, they're burning.
Now, you said she was excited and happy on the day of the 2nd. All right? About the picture?
Yes, the last time I spoke with her, she was excited and happy.
She didn't express any frustration with her brother.
Yes, she did.
Did she tell you whether or not her brother had blocked her on social media?
She did, but I believe it was a mutual thing.
So, the day of her passing, to your understanding, she was having an argument with her family.
I don't know if I'd say it's an argument.
Enough to block on social media?
Can't speak for Candy.
Now, you stated earlier that there was a couple phone calls on that day, right? On the second?
That's correct.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to use it. A couple phone calls on January 29th. I want to ask you.
Alrighty, here we go. Jazzy. Jazzy. Sorry, guys. I'm
Yes.
Jazz.
On that phone call,
Oh, Lordy.
first phone call, you came up and called your parents.
Did.
Jazz.
No.
She called you back.
She called me back.
What was that gap in time?
To my recollection, it was a couple hours.
What were you doing in the meantime?
Wondering what was going on. Worried.
You're worried. Why'd you call 911?
Because I'm sure her parents did.
How many people were you aware of that knew you were in a relationship with this Howard?
Objection calls for speculation.
If he knows, you can answer. Can you repeat the question?
How many people were you aware of that knew about your relationship with this Howard?
I don't think anybody really, anyone knew for sure. People may have assumed.
Can you discuss that on the second about now evidently people know, is that right?
I don't recall.
You said that I just want to be clear. The statements you said that she told you that you overheard who you talking to, right?
Yes.
You said that you heard her, what you assumed to be shut the door?
Along with shut the door.
And you heard her describe wearing black clothing?
Not a phone call.
So in the phone call, let me back up. Were you aware that Mr. Howard, if Miss Howard had shared her affair with Mr. Howard?
I'm not sure.
Now, you guys did talk about that though, right?
About what?
Did her? As far as when to kill him?
Candy and I just told it up to her.
When did you first bring up the idea of her divorcing him and moving out of Canada?
Can you repeat the question?
Did you first bring up the idea of divorcing Mr. Howard and moving out of Canada?
No, it was not my idea.
Now, she expressed doubts on that weekend, she expressed doubts to you about leaving Mr. Howard, right?
Concerns.
In fact, you've been, we've covered exhibit, we have to look at some exhibits, Sean.
You may.
So this is the boyfriend.
Mr. Prado, I've handed you what's marked and admitted as State Exhibit 38, A through I. Do you recognize those?
Yes.
Now, let's just kind of walk through that. If you look at Exhibit 58C, do you have that?
Yes, sir.
So, in looking at this exhibit, you see how the top page has January 30th at 9:34,
Yes.
and the next line down is 33.
Yes.
So this is written in reverse chronological order, right?
It would appear so.
So if we flip to a couple pages on January 30th. Well, before I ask this, you and Ms. Howard talked about her employment, correct?
That's correct.
The plan was for her to get a job at the hospital down in Canada, right?
Clinic.
Clinic. And when she put the house, or when she put the earnest money on the house, she was still currently working at KNC, correct?
The earnest money there was no earnest money put down in the house at that point.
She did not, she was not able to get a job in Canada, right?
That's not correct, to my knowledge.
Okay. So, I think it's the third page. You're talking about her needing to stay in her job until closing for the loan verification, right? It's on the third page of the exhibit C, first message, January 30th. She was talking about she needs to wait, put notice in her job until she closed, right?
Yes, that's what it states.
Now, did you influence her at all in the divorce process?
We spoke about it.
So, you were trying to talk to her about getting the guns, right?
Not that I recall.
You've seen her gun, right?
No.
So if we go, and you say she didn't like guns, right?
That's correct.
She didn't want them.
Correct.
Okay. So if we go to the second page of that exhibit.
Sure looks that
Online,
way.
She states, I get my gun. Had to trade my chickens for safe and gun. Did you receive that message?
I did.
And then you replied, LOL. And then you state, what you going to use, baby? for leverage for quitclaim deed if not guns. All right?
Yes.
And so your testimony, she didn't like guns, but she was excited about getting her gun and trying to use leverage to get a quitclaim deed, correct?
That's not correct.
You talked to her about her needing to get a quitclaim deed in the divorce process for the house in Canada.
That would be one aspect.
I think so.
Did you ever have law
Good chance of it.
test for your DNA?
No.
Did law enforcement ever ask you if you handled her gun?
Not that I recall.
Are you aware? So during that time, she's also talking about being amicable in splitting up the assets, correct?
Yeah, she was speaking about splitting with the assets.
So in Exhibit D, just for the record, 38D,
So B or D?
D is the document. If we flip to the second page, we have a picture of like a case sheet for a legal document.
Yes.
Is that something she messaged you?
Yes, it is.
Flipping 2 more pages. Is that images of something that she messaged you?
Appears to be, yes.
And again, on the next 2 pages, there are various items listed, correct?
Correct.
And this is the weekend of January 30th and 31st, correct?
Appears to be, yes.
Now, before those, on the very last page of the exhibit, she expresses some concern about staying, correct?
About what was that, sir?
Well, do you see the message on the last page that has January 31st at about 4:58?
Let's see the 458. Yes, I do. Okay, I do.
Okay, that's a message from Kennedy. And it states, I guess I look at it as if I don't have you, I'll stay. Because good enough is good enough. Don't take that the wrong way. I'm just talking, right? You receive that message?
I did.
And she's referring about being with Dan is, if good enough is good enough, right? She's referring to Dan in that message, right?
She's referring to staying.
With Dan, right?
Just staying.
So if we move back up, next, if we go in order, the next page is the pictures. We got 3 pictures of the inventory. We got personal information, and then you state, first page, on the first page, I want you to be happy and confident with your decision and what lies ahead. Are you? That's what you asked, correct?
That's correct.
They don't mean that there aren't going to be a lot of emotions and sad days. I'm talking the big picture, right?
Yes.
And she states, just emotional. The day is all.
I'm going to object to counsel's characterization of that statement. Judge, if he's going to be reading into the record, he needs to do it.
I glanced up at the wrong time.
The way he read it,
Yeah.
it seemed accurate. If you want to reread it, that's fine.
She states, just emotional day is all, right?
Correct.
Had to walk down memory lane together. Guess if I stay busy helps. Is that what she said?
Yes.
You aware if she expressed hesitations and concerns to, are you aware that she expressed hesitations and concerns to anyone else?
I'm not aware of that.
Did you guys discuss keeping the relationship with Mr. Howard secret?
Yes.
So you stated that you would see each other most often when Dan was working in the oil fields for 3 weeks long.
That's correct.
At your place and hers?
Not hers.
And when Dan was home, she would find time either when she's in the car or other places to talk to you.
That's correct.
Or if he was in the shop or doing other things.
Objection as to where the defendant was as speculation.
Or he would know if she was driving.
What's that?
You would know if where she's at if you're talking, in a private car or going somewhere.
I think you're asking where Dan was when they were home. To that extent, it's speculation. So it's just
Would Kenny try to hang up quickly if all of a sudden someone walked in the room?
no. I mean,
That day, on the 29th, did she disconnect the line?
on which call?
On 129, 15-second call, she disconnect the line?
I believe I did.
And you disconnected the line. Were you scared that Dan had found out that you were talking to her?
No.
You disconnected the line after 15 seconds and called her parents?
I did.
At this point, did her parents know you guys were dating?
I do not believe so.
And so you called her parents instead of 911. Was that in an effort to look like a hero?
Objection or connective.
Oh. No.
But you didn't call back for 2 hours.
I did not call her, she called me, yes.
You didn't call 911.
I did not call her parents, knowing that her parents would more likely call 911. I was more concerned for what I was hearing on that phone call, to call her parents, so they could call her
and possibly get it on the line where you know that they're on the call.
And in that 15 seconds, your statement is that you heard, what is your statement? Just be clear, what are you saying happened in that 15 seconds? What did you hear?
I heard Candy, emotional, scared, panicked, being in the bathroom, when I can get on the phone, trying to close the door, let me close the door. And then I can, like I said, I can hear Mr. Howard, who you talk to, why are you on the phone? I'm not talking to anybody, I'm on the phone. It was just very, you can tell she was very, there was a lot going on.
Okay.
She was very distraught.
But she was talking to you.
She wasn't talking to me, she was talking to an open line. She wanted to hear what was happening.
You sure you weren't on the phone and Dan questioned her about it?
No, we weren't talking on the phone. She called.
Let's move to Exhibit D. Now, again, this is so as you can see in these exhibits, the timestamps are kind of blended together.
When we blended together.
Well, for instance, Exhibit A is conversations around the 2nd of February, right?
You said 38B, is it worth it?
First, let's take a look at A real quick.
I'm going to object to this line of questioning.
What's your objection?
To numerical or alphabetical order that the state numbered the exhibits is not something that Mr. Prado is part of. It's irrelevant to the substance of the exhibits, and that's okay.
Is that what you were asking?
No, just providing context for why we have different dates.
Okay. Yeah, if you can make clear what you're asking, and the witness can follow what you're asking and find it. So I'll overrule the objection if you can be clear.
We talked first about Exhibit C, correct?
We did talk about exhibit.
Exhibit C involved conversation on 1:30, correct?
Correct.
We talked about Exhibit D, correct?
That's correct.
That involves conversation on February 2nd, right?
It shows January 31st. You're saying on D, 38D?
B or D?
So you said D.
So turning to B. This is on the 31st. You're talking about more of the divorce paperwork, right?
Sorry, Council, just to be really clear, what exhibit are you referring to, right?
Boy, B is in boy.
B is in boy.
Let me set the stage. So you had conversations during that weekend about the process of them filling out paperwork, correct? And just from your memory, you had conversations that weekend with Ms. Howard about her and Dan filling out divorce paperwork, right?
That's correct.
And you're understanding that it was going amicably, they were putting things down, and you received pictures of those, right?
I did receive pictures, yes.
Now, if we flip to the back page, working from the back, second page from the back, very bottom, Candy sends you a message, and this is in the morning, just woke back up, I don't know, if it's dream something, but woke up scared, she's going, and changes it to doing in the next text, right?
Let me ask again which one you're referring to. You want me to go to D?
B is in boy.
D is in boy. Okay, D is in boy. I'm on that.
Second to the last page.
Okay.
Very bottom. Did you see it?
My bottom page went B. It's not going along, I apologize. It's talking about a tractor.
One more page, third page from the back, at home. You see the line that says just woke?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so she states, just woke back up, I don't know, dreamed something, but woke up scared, she said going, but then changes to doing, is that what she said?
Yes.
And you're expressing, that there's a lot of emotions, right?
Correct.
She tells you that she's scared about all the change, right?
Yes.
Now, she was concerned about where she was going to work, right?
Yes, probably. Possibly.
Possibly.
Possibly. I mean, there was options for her.
Okay.
But it was big changes. Okay, changes change.
So on the next page, on the bottom, message you says, I need to know if I still do my job at closing to give bank. I'd gone verify, Tana said I will, and I need to keep job tilted. Did you express that?
She did.
Now, going back to the guns, you said you have guns?
Yes.
And it's your testimony, you never touched your gun?
Not that I can recall, no.
Have a moment.
Yeah.
Referring again to B, the first page. This is on the 31st. Around the middle of the page, around noon, she states, I'm rushing into this fast, or is this normal? She says that to you, right?
She does.
And she states that he's all good with this, what they've been discussing, correct?
Yes.
She states, or you state, that it's normal, this is how it's done, trust me, I know, LOL.
Yes.
Thank you. Rivera?
Briefly, Judge. And if you look at D as in dog.
Okay.
Those pictures that council was asking you about. Whose handwriting? Let me phrase it like this. Is that Kenny's handwriting on those documents?
No.
So first page, it kind of looks like a legal document. Is that Kenny's handwriting?
No.
Next page that has 2 columns, is that Kennedy's handwriting?
No.
The next page that is evaluating their various assets, is that Kennedy's handwriting?
No.
That next page that lists some other assets, is that Kennedy's handwriting?
No.
And these were sent to you during a conversation where Kennedy had told you that she and Dan were splitting up the assets, correct?
Correct.
January 29th, when you got that open line from Kennedy, did you hear a crime being committed?
Sounded like yes.
Did you have enough information at that point to call law enforcement?
No.
In the months and weeks before Kennedy's death, did you and Kennedy together spend time with Janie and Wendell?
Yes.
Were there times that you and Kennedy and Janie and Wendell would go to dinner together?
Yes.
Would you actively trying to keep the secret of your and Kennedy's relationship from Janie and Wendell?
Yes.
Were, if you know, Janie and Wendell suspicious that the 2 of you were in a relationship?
I think they may have been suspicious.
Counsel asked you if Kennedy was worried about going back and dividing things up with Dan, and you said she had concerns. Can you elaborate on those concerns?
Well, she was concerned, how he was going to react, concerned for her safety.
Did you care about Kennedy even before you started a romantic relationship with her
Absolutely.
for many years?
A lot of years.
Further questions?
Thank you, Mr. Bowden. You may step down. You want to hand those exhibits to my clerk before we go? Sure. Next witness?
Michelle Lambert.
Just for counsel and jury's understanding, I suspect this is gonna be a longer witness, but I'll probably still take a break, maybe 15 or 20 minutes just as an afternoon break. Because you guys have had some breaks. But, ma'am, are you Ms. Lambert?
Yes,
Do you come forward, please? You face my clerk and raise your right hand to be sworn in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this case will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Thank you, ma'am. Have a seat at the witness stand. You may inquire.
Thank you, Judge. Ma'am, would you state your full name and spell both your first and last names?
Michelle, M-I-C-H-E-L-L-E. Lambert, L-A-M-P-E-R-T.
Were you married?
Yes,
What's the name of your husband?
D. Lambert.
Did you and your husband at one time live in Athol,
Spirit Lake.
Spirit Lake?
Yeah.
And about how long ago was that and what time frame?
We lived there for 20 years. We just moved, in December.
Okay. During those 20 years, at some point did you become acquainted with Kendi and Dan Howard?
Yes.
How did that happen?
Our kids went to school. Well, they played baseball together.
And so can you give the names and ages of your kids and the names and ages of Candy and Dan's kids that were friends?
My kids are David Lambert, and he was probably, what age now? You want his age now?
Now, back when they first got to know the Howards, your kids.
I don't even know if David really, it was really Joshua, the youngest boy of the 4 boys, because they played baseball with Wyatt.
Okay, Joshua was about how old when you got to know?
I want to say they were in 5th grade.
Okay. And then through the years, did you and your husband get to know Kendi and Dan?
We knew of them because they played baseball, they played football together, high school football. Our 2 boys went into the Marines together as a buddy system. We all went, we were in San Diego together on their graduation. We didn't travel together, but we were all there together. I got probably a lot closer to Kendi as our kids were growing up and out of the house.
Okay. Before that happened, did you and your husband sometimes attend social events with the Howards?
Yes,
Did that include school events?
we were all at the same Friday night high school football or, baseball or whatever, yes.
Did you and your husband then attend barbecues at the Howard's house?
Towards the later years, yes.
Okay.
Not when they were younger,
Okay. Did you get to know Dan Howard?
yes.
Based on these many contacts with him, being around him as your kids grew up?
I knew of him. He was a state trooper.
I know that, but based on knowing him personally, did you get to become acquainted with him
Yes,
and his habits,
yes,
and his likes and dislikes?
yes.
What was Mr. Howard's attitude towards money?
It was all his.
Did you get to know Kendi better as time progressed?
Yes, that's when we got really close.
When did you get really close?
I'd say 18, 19.
So 2018, 2019?
Yeah, somewhere around there is when we really got close.
Okay, by close, what do you mean by that?
We talked every day. We both worked the horrible early mornings, 4 a.m. shifts or 4:30 up, and so we always talked, message. We do stuff with each other. We always talked every day.
So by talking in Facebook Messenger
Yes,
and not so much telephone?
once in a great while, but mostly it was messengers.
What do you do, by the way? What's your profession?
My profession was medical biller. I'm retired now.
Back then when you knew her, that's what you were doing for work?
Yes,
Did you, because of this close relationship with Kenny, get to know her pretty well?
yes.
Can you tell us what her attitude was in terms of guns?
She hated them
How do you know that?
because I do remember he gave her a gun for Christmas, and She didn't even like guns. She didn't even want it. It's not even what she wanted for Christmas. She wouldn't go out shooting or anything like that. She never carried a gun. There was never a gun in her purse. She didn't like guns.
Okay. What sorts of things would you, well, let me back up a little bit. Did you and Kenny hang out together, just the two of you?
We would go hiking, antiquing. We'd go to different breweries. We shopped. We did all kinds of stuff.
And did this go over the place of the course of a couple of years?
Yes,
All right. And were you able to, during this time period, ascertain Dan's attitude towards you and Kenny hanging out together?
yes.
What was that?
He didn't like it. He didn't like it
Why?
because she's spending money.
Also saying that you can lay more foundation if you can.
Thank you, sir. Did you ever hear Dan complain when you were within earshot about you and Kenny hanging out?
Yes, there was one day, yes.
This one day, where
Yeah.
were you?
It was when we were, going to go do Greece.
So about what time frame are we talking?
That would probably, it was probably in November, I would assume.
Okay, so November of what year?
19 or 20, I'm not sure, I'm sorry.
When you heard this, where were you physically?
I'm sorry?
Where were you located physically when you heard Dan make a negative comment about Kenny's spending?
It was outside
Outside where?
by the fire pit.
Okay, the Howard House.
Yes,
Who was present?
my husband, I, Dan, and Kendi.
And what had preceded this negative comment? What had happened beforehand?
We're spending money.
And what did Dan say?
I just told him I spent all of his money. We made sure we spent his money. I probably egged him on a little bit.
In spending all this time with Kenny, did you get to have a handle on her emotions and whether or not she was a depressed person?
She was not depressed.
What was she?
She was fun. We had a,
You
We
can go
had-
ahead and restate your answer, please.
we had a lot of fun. We laughed. We had a great time. She was never depressed. She was always had a smile on her face. Always wanted to go do something. Never was boring. Never wanted. Just always was fun.
In getting to know her, did you pick up on how she looked at her body?
Yeah, I mean we're females.
Can you tell us about that?
I mean, she battled, weight, and she wanted to lose weight, or, her body image, sometimes she didn't feel was great, but she was beautiful. But
Was she self-conscious about her weight?
yes,
Was she self-conscious about how she looked?
yes,
Did she try at times to remedy that? Or at
Yes.
least- Did you ever hear Dan express any negative comments about Kenny's weight?
only through her.
You talked about communicating her daily in terms of Facebook Messenger. Was that happening back on or around July of 2020?
Yes,
And during that time period, did she communicate to you after July 10th of 2020, both in terms of text and photographs of herself?
yes,
Yeah, Coach,
But
and let me show you what's been marked as. 37A is a number of pages taken together. 37B is one. Take a look at 37A and tell me if you recognize what that is.
Yes,
What is it?
it's a bruise.
Is it a number of photographs?
Yes, sir.
Are they photographs of Candy's body?
Yes, sir.
And did she send those to you
Yes, sir.
on what date?
On that date.
Do you remember the date?
It was like 7:10, 7:11.
We're looking at this document, refresh your memory as to the date.
Yes, sir.
What was the date?
The date on here is 7/11.
July 11th, 2020.
Yes, sir.
Take a look at B. What do you recognize? B?
I'm sorry. That was on 7/12.
What is 37B that was sent to you on 7/12?
It was about the bruises and trying to cover them up.
Was it sent by you, Candy,
Yes,
on July 12th, 2020?
yes, sir.
37A, inaccurate
Yes,
depiction of the pictures that she sent you on July 11th.
yes,
And this 37B, inaccurate set
yes,
text that she sent you about this bruises the next day.
yes.
This is the 37A, 37B.
any objection? No. This will be admitted.
Move to publish the same.
You may. Members of the jury, have all of you had a chance to review that? You can continue, Mr. Brennan.
Thank you, Judge. Around this time period that we're talking about, or maybe a little bit afterwards, did you and your husband go camping with the Howards as well as Wyatt, his girlfriend?
Yes,
Where did this take place?
in Rorschach.
About what time frame in terms of July 2020 did it happen?
I think it was towards the end of July, like the 20th, it was like a Wednesday to a Monday, Thursday to a Monday. I
Okay.
remember it.
Sounds like you're not quite sure.
It was in July, it was like, I want to say the 20th.
These exhibits that we've been looking at, did these happen before we met with her and her husband and her son?
Yes.
At your shop?
Yes, this happened before.
Okay, so you got in front of you 37C. You recognize 37C.
Yes,
What do you recognize that to be?
Candy with bruises.
Okay. Is this sort of the same thing as what we saw in 27A and B just a couple days later on July 13th, 2020?
Yes,
And is this exhibit accompanied by both text as well as bruises?
yes,
Is 37C an accurate summary of the text and photos Candy sent to you on July 13th, 2020, before you met with her camping at the workshop?
yes,
Move to admit 37C.
Objection. 37C is admitted.
Move to post the same.
May. Looks like members of the jury have had a chance to review that exhibit as well. Mr. Herron, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just need a humanitarian break. I know we've given you some breaks, but we've been dealing with stuff here in the courtroom, so we'll just take a short recess and be back. I'll remind you not to discuss this case with yourselves or with anyone else. Thank you.
darkness falls, it gets hard to see what my life has in store for me. Though it makes me wanna scream when I'm standing in the pouring rain. I feel like my hands are tied up in these rusty chains. So, I travel my mind for answers, you see. The answer tonight that will set me free. You know it makes me wanna scream when I'm standing in the pouring rain. I feel like my hands are tied up in these rusty chains.
Looking at photographs mid-July or so of 2020. And I'm going to show you some photographs that have already been admitted in this trial, starting with exhibit number 30. You recognize those two?
I can't even see.
Go ahead, Judge. Looks like you're about ready to take care of the issue.
I was just saying that you're welcome to step, this is called the well here. You're welcome to step into there, that'll help you see the photos better. Sure.
You recognize that photograph?
Yes,
Who are they?
that is Dan and Howard.
In mid-July of 2020.
Yes, sir.
And when you saw her during that camping trip to Warshak, could you still see bruising on her body?
Yes,
Where?
right here. It was very minute.
I'm going to show you a couple more while you're standing there, okay? The next one's 31. Same time frame,
Yes,
same bruising.
yes,
And then the last one will be 32. Same time frame,
yes,
same place.
yes.
Thank you. You take your seat again. Let me show you a couple more texts. After 2020, did you continue to text with him?
Yes, sir.
Let me show you what's in marked as 37B, 37E. Take a look at those two, tell me if you recognize them.
Yes,
Starting off with 37B, what do you recognize that to be?
that was, Candy talking about moving.
Okay, talking about the future plans.
Yep,
And was this on January 1st of 2021?
yes, sir.
And then the second one, 37E, can you identify that for us?
Yes,
What's that?
that's the same thing, wanting to,
Okay. And essentially the same.
home with the Candy on it.
Moving back to
Yeah.
Canada. Are these accurate texts between you and her on this date?
Yes, sir, they are.
Thank you. Look at 37E, 37E.
One minute. Let's get rid of that.
Publish the same.
You may publish it. secretary's had a chance to review it, you can continue.
Thank you. And you've got 37 F in front of you. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
You recognize that series of pictures.
Yes, sir, I do.
What are they?
They are pictures of Candy's house that she put an offer on and was accepted.
Okay, so what's the date of this text?
The text was started at 1:22.
And are they text from Candy?
Yes, sir.
Are they text from Candy essentially talking about her future plans?
Yes, sir.
And does that include the new house, or what's to be the new house in Canada?
Yes.
And her feelings about that?
How excited she was to have it.
Does that series of text also include her fishing?
Yes.
And are they all of that current time frame?
Yes.
Are you clear on that?
Yes.
You can look for this on that.
Objection. 37F is admitted.
The public thing?
You may. Has everyone had a chance to review that, or just a little bit more? Anyone have any? Or you can continue, Mr. Rick.
Thank you. May we have in front of you, it's been marked as 37G, do you recognize that?
Yes,
What do you recognize 37G to be?
Candy talking to me.
On January 23rd and 2021,
Yes,
about our future plans.
yes,
Is that an accurate set text? Candy talking to you about our future plans?
yes.
If we get 37G,
Any objection? No. 37G is admitted.
make it publish 37G.
You may publish 37G. Liz, you guys had a chance to review that? Continue.
The last one you have in front of you is marked as 37G, do you recognize that?
It's marked 37H.
It is. Do you recognize 37H?
Yes,
Do you recognize that?
her and I talking again, and she bought a hot tub.
This was what, on January 24th, 2021?
Yeah, 25th.
Is this, in addition to the text that you sent you earlier?
Yes,
Besides the hot tub, is there other things she's talking about in terms of future life?
just the house.
Buying things for the house?
Yes, yes,
Is that an accurate set of text between you and her and that something?
yes.
You can admit 37H
No objection. 37H is admitted.
and publish.
Permission to publish granted.
He's just not a happy looking individual, that judge. That guy doesn't have much hair.
I think the jury's had a chance to review that.
Thank you, Judge.
You may continue.
Ms. Lambert, towards the end of January 2021, based on your interaction with Kenny, what was her state of mind? Was she depressed or not?
No, she was happy.
What was she happy about?
She was happy because she got the house, she was pursuing something that she loved, she was going back home, yes, she might have been scared, to divorce, but she was happy. She was happy to start her life over, and she was excited to get out of Kootenai. She was looking at a brighter side.
Was she happy also to leave Dan?
Objection. Overruled.
Yes.
Let me take you to the morning of January 29th, 2021, okay? I know you've told us that you work mornings, but on that particular morning, when you were at work, did you get a call from Kendi?
Yes.
In this call from Kendi, can you describe her demeanor during the call?
Irrational.
Was Kendi upset?
Yes.
Was Kendi crying during the call?
Yes.
Was Kendi crying during the entirety of the call? It's foundational.
And the question doesn't suggest the answer, she could certainly say no. So I'll overrule the leading objection.
Yes, she was very hysterical.
During the whole call?
Yeah, and for her to call me, not text me, something was wrong.
Did she describe something to you during this call that had recently happened to her?
Yes.
About what time do you think it was in the morning when you got the call when you were at work?
It was early because we were early birds. It had been anywhere between 6 and 8 because not everybody was in my work yet. I had a few people, but not a full crew.
AM?
Yes.
And during the course of this call that you had with her, when she was emotional, when she was crying, when she was hysterical, did she tell you what had just happened to her earlier
Yes.
that morning?
Yes.
What did she say happened?
That Dan tried to choke her
Did she say where this happened?
in the bedroom.
Did she say what she was doing when it occurred?
She was sleeping
Did she indicate to you in the call how she woke up?
with him on top.
With him on top, what do you mean, standing above her?
Yeah, like almost like a pillow, if I remember right. Just on forward, him forward, over the top of her.
Not on her, but above her.
Above her, yes.
Did she indicate to you how he was dressed?
Black,
What about his hands? Were they gloved or not?
gloved.
Did she indicate anything else that caught her attention about her waking up and seeing Dan above her that you can recall?
I want to say there was something in his hand, but I can't positively.
Did she talk about whether or not she saw a magazine on the floor or
Yes,
not?
yes. She did talk about that.
What did she say?
That there was a black thing on the floor is how she put it, if I remember right.
Did she indicate to you whether she was concerned for her safety?
She was scared of that.
Did she indicate to you what she feared had about to happen?
She was afraid he was gonna kill her.
No further questions.
Thank you. Cross-examination, Mr. Johnson.
Good afternoon. You talked to Detective Gallatin on the morning of February 3rd, correct?
Correct.
And in that conversation, was it a phone conversation?
I'm not sure if it was a phone conversation. I've had so many conversations.
That first conversation was with Detective Gallatin, right? On that morning?
The morning of,
Yes.
I don't remember, sir.
Well, you did speak to him fairly early on.
Yes.
And in that interview, or that conversation, you did not mention this phone call from the prior Friday, did you?
I don't know, sir.
A few days later, or maybe a week later on, you talked to Detective Euler as well.
Okay.
Did you? Do you remember that?
I don't remember the names, but I talked to a lot of detectives.
At that time, you did not mention this event in the prior weekend to them, did you?
No, sir, there was a lot of events.
Well, this was 3 days before Kimmy's passing, right?
Yes, sir.
But since then, you've had a lot of conversations with law enforcement.
I've had conversations, but it's not a daily life.
No, I've had, would you say over, in the past 3 years, over or under 10 conversations with law enforcement?
Maybe, probably. I haven't counted them.
Would it be close to 10 or more or less?
I don't know, sir. I've had conversations. I don't know how many conversations I've had. You also have to realize that she died.
Objection unresponsive. The last one.
Or, strike the last comment, and then just make sure you wait for a question.
Yes.
Now, in the first conversation, obviously your friend has passed and you're very upset. But when you talked to Detective Gallatin, didn't you tell him that Kendi had at one point told you in the past year that Dan had told her you could make a murder look like suicide?
Objection here, sir.
Oh,
A couple layers of it.
yeah. I'll sustain the objection.
Can we have a conversation on such punishment?
We can. All right, members of the jury, excuse me momentarily. All rise.
What did I just miss there? What did he say? He said it so fast I didn't understand.
You can be seated. Go ahead, Mr. Johnson.
Your Honor, one of the concerning things about this case is, who there is no recorded investigation of, no recorded or interview with Mr. Lambert from any law enforcement member. All of a sudden, Poof shows up at the grand jury and makes a statement that he heard Dan say, I can make a murder request suicide. It's been subject to motion. But where this came from is law enforcement's first contact with Ms. Lambert. She makes a statement, a bunch of other statements that aren't admissible, but she makes a statement basically saying, I heard in past year, Kenny said that he could do that, or he told me he could do that. The next interview, it changes. I heard Dan while around the campfire. Grand jury, it changes. Now she doesn't even testify to it. It's her husband that must have heard it over the campfire. So it goes to one of the key statements that the state has used throughout this whole case. The origins of it. I'm not looking for the truth of the matter asserted, but laying the foundation for this witness. It's the only way I can get in. This witness and where the statement came from.
So you're trying to impeach this witness regarding a statement that hasn't been elicited by the state?
I'm laying some foundation on it. I mean, I guess we can, subject to recall and call her after statements, listed all we want.
Okay, let's go back to the state's argument was hearsay. What's your response to that?
Not arguing for the truth or not truth. Just whether or not she made a statement. I'm not.
Well, you're asking
if she told law enforcement X. I don't care about the truth of X. I'm asking if she told law enforcement X.
Mr. Hearn, I'll hear your response.
Well, if it's not offered for the truth of the matter asserted, then it's not relevant.
I understood your question. It was, did you tell law enforcement that Candy told you that Dan told her that he could make a death threat by suicide?
Yes.
And you would like to get that in because she told the grand jury.
She didn't tell the grand jury.
Somebody else told the grand jury.
Her husband.
Who's that?
Right. So you're trying to impeach her husband's anticipated testimony right now regarding something she hasn't testified to.
We'll leave subject to recall.
Okay. I'm sustaining the objection that it's hearsay and it's not being offered for proper purpose with this witness. So, all right. We'll bring the jury back in.
That lawyer looks like Bubbles to me. I don't know. I haven't watched the show for a while, but he kind of looks like Bubbles.
You can be seated. When we can make it quick, I'm trying to make it quick for you. Sometimes it breaks. We'll continue now. I have sustained the objection. Mr. Johnson, you may continue with your question.
So you're going to state Mr. Detective Bob in first, on the 3rd of February, correct?
Yes.
And later on, you made statements to other law enforcement, such as Detective Boyler.
Yes.
Jason asked and answered.
It has been, but she already answered again, so you can move on, Mr. Johnson.
Now, you didn't like Dan, did you?
No.
And in some of your interactions with Kendi, you were strategizing with her on how to get the most out of a divorce.
I guess.
And was it clear, was it mutual, was it clear that Dan knew you didn't like him?
Objection, that calls for speculation.
Or reverse.
Counsel's, client's state of mind.
Reverse.
That's the same.
Was your impression that you were friendly towards him?
Objection, relevance as whatever her impression is in this particular case.
It's her state of mind.
Say again?
It's her state of mind.
Well,
I'll rephrase.
okay, you can rephrase.
Were you friendly to him?
Yes.
Were your husband, name's Dean,
Mhm.
were him and Dan friends?
I would not call them friends.
Now, you were not aware of the relationship with Mr. Prado, were you?
Correct.
Yet, she was a good friend of yours, correct?
Correct.
So, if we look at Exhibit F, you have that in front of you?
Did you hand it to me?
I thought all of it.
What number are you on, counsel?
Does the clerk have his exhibit?
The clerk has the numbers.
Yeah,
What precedes F? What's the number?
39? The 30?
So go down to 37. You can approach.
And, a little approach,
Sure, this program.
What the hell? What? Unreal. There's a lot of this going on. Does this cop think he's going to get away with deleting his wife, do you think? Do you think he deleted his wife? Yeah, that's what they're saying, is it is not looking like it's self-inflicted due to the positioning of everything. So I'm not too sure what the hubby here has for an alibi, if he's got one. Sometimes I think just because they're cops, they think they can be crooked.
So, do you recognize that exhibit?
Yes.
Yeah.
The first page, first line, is that your comment when dipshit coming home?
Sure is.
If we go in exhibit 1, 2, 3, 4, flip 4 pages over. On your thing, does it start off with cool?
Yes, sir. See that?
Okay, so further down, 6 lines down, Candy sends a message to you that I don't want to hurt them, but I don't love. Is that what she sent to you?
Correct.
On the last page of that exhibit, should look like a thumbs up.
The last page of the packet is that.
Now, in your relationship with Dan and Candy, how often would you guys go camping?
Door check.
How often would you?
Door check.
How many times would you go?
That's the only time.
Okay, just the one time. Now, you were not there to observe what happened to get a bruise, correct?
Correct.
And then you had secrets, correct?
Correct.
Thank you, Peter.
Council elicited from you the fact that you didn't like Dan. Remember that?
Yes.
Was that in part of the way Dan treated you?
Correct.
And what was it about the way that Dan treated Kenny that you didn't like?
Controlling
Controlling in what fashion?
money.
Was Dan's personality something else that you didn't like?
Correct.
And what was it about his personality that you didn't like?
Arrogant.
Remember council asking you about your talk with Detective Lyleton?
Yes, sir.
It occurred in February of 2021.
Yes, sir.
And you remember council asking you whether or not you remember talking about that conversation you had with Kendi on January 29th, 2021?
Correct.
And you not being able to remember
Correct.
whether or not you told Detective Lyleton
Correct.
that? Okay. I want to show you something. It's a transcript of your interview with Detective Lyleton. And specifically, I'm going to have you look at page 5 of that transcript. See if I can refresh your memory about whether or not you told Detective Lyleton about that incident. It can told you that. So take a look at page 5. I think it might run off into the next page. Tell me when your memory is refreshed.
Yeah, we see you keep looking up. I think we're waiting for you to tell
I'm
us.
sorry,
Did you get a chance to read that part of that transcript?
the page 5 to 6.
Yeah, in that page 5 to 6 of that transcript, where you're talking with Detective Loudon back in February 2021, did you in fact talk to Detective Loudon about the call you had with Kenny on January 29th, 2021?
Yes, it looks like I did.
And did you give him the details here? That you described here today to him, just in part?
Yes.
No further questions?
Your Honor, one, recross on that, Your Honor, please.
I'll allow you one question.
What's the date on top there?
February 11th.
Can you reread her?
Thank you, Judge. What year?
21.
Thank you. That's it.
Maybe you can step down. I'll have you, I'll take the exhibits from my clerk, but then the last thing that, Mr. Verheeren, actually, I'll have you do it if you would. I'll give you back your transcript and we'll take the exhibits.
I think all the exhibits are with the
Oh, okay.
with the exception
I thought,
of.
okay.
Dean Lambert is next.
Okay. Dean Lambert.
Hey, Judge, may this witness be released for a subpoena?
Mr. Johnson? I believe the defense may wish to recall her, so she's not released.
This court has bizarre hours.
Good afternoon, sir. Are you Dean Lambert?
Yes, sir.
Come forward, please.
Dun, dun, dun,
Thank you. Please stand right
Dun,
there. Please
dun,
raise your
dun,
right hand to be sworn.
dun.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this case is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Thank you, sir. If you have a seat there. Can I inquire, Mr. Verheeren?
Thank you, Judge. Sir, can you say your whole name and spell your last?
Dean Lampert, Lampert.
Who's your wife?
Michelle Lampert.
Was there a time when you knew Kendi and Dan Howard?
Yes.
When was that? Approximately.
Approximately from 2019 to 21.
And what was the nature of that relationship?
Our kids went to school together, and our boys entered the Marines together as a buddy system.
And as a result of knowing the Howards, did you on occasion socialize with them?
Occasionally,
And did that mean going to barbecues and things like that at the Howard's house?
a few times, yes.
Did you have occasions to speak with Dan Howard alone?
Occasionally,
And did this involve after the use of both of you of alcohol?
yes.
And did it involve you and he being alone sometimes?
Sometimes, yes.
And did it involve him bragging?
Yes.
Did he ever make any statements to you that you remember about whether or not he could make a murder like a suicide?
Yes, he did a few times.
What did he specifically say?
He said I could make a murder look like a suicide.
What was the context of that kind of statement?
Shocking.
No, I mean, what was going on when he said it?
Bragging, being arrogant, I guess.
And where would it be? In the middle of the day? Would it be towards the evening?
Evening time.
Would it involve having used, or the both of you having used alcohol at some point?
If I came to his house, he'd already been drinking quite a bit, so he was already intoxicated.
When he made these statements to you about making a murder look like a suicide, had you been drinking?
Yes.
About what time frame do you think he made these statements to you?
As in the evening time?
Nah, I'm talking about years.
It was a few times through the course of the last 4 years that I retained as in the night.
Oh, I don't imagine he's happy to be sitting up there.
Cross-examination.
There's Bubbles.
Said that you hung out with Dan alone.
Occasionally.
Weren't you under oath at a prior hearing in this matter?
Yes.
Weren't you asked specifically if you and Dan ever hung out one-on-one?
Yes.
And didn't you answer no?
I might have said no, but when we're at a barbecue, him and I might have stepped off to the side of the fire pit, nobody else was around. We might have been on the patio, but we never hung out like as buddies.
Okay, so the answer is you never hung out alone. There were other people around?
Objection argumentative, and it's also compound.
Rephrase.
Sustained, have you rephrase?
Would you consider him a friend?
No.
No further questions.
Any rewrite?
No, thank you.
Thank you, sir. You may step down.
This witness be released from the subpoena so we can watch the proceedings.
Any objections, Mr. Johnson?
Oh, you're right.
All right, yes, you may be released, please.
Thank you. Deputy Traw is next.
What kind of hours does this courtroom have? Like, I think they're an hour ahead of me, so that's like it's already 5 after 6. But it says 4. They can't be behind me.
You Deputy Trump? Yes, sir. All right, you step forward, please. Raise your hand.
Do solemnly swear that the testimony that you give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Thank you, sir. Could you have a seat, please, stand there? Doing it, Clark.
Thank you, Judge. Can you say your whole name and spell your last?
It's Deputy Jonathan Traw, T-R-A-W,
How are you employed?
with the Cook County Sheriff's Office.
How long have you been so employed?
Full-time since 2013, and then 7 years before that as a seasonal.
Can you describe for us the nature of your job duties?
I'm a patrol deputy with the Sheriff's Office, and currently I supervise our Marine Division.
I take it you've been post-certified since you've been a patrol deputy.
Yes, sir.
What level?
Advanced certificate.
And that means what?
It's years of service mixed with post-hours or college credits.
Were you working on January 29th of 2021?
I was.
And at some point during that shift, did you respond to the Howard residence?
I did.
What time?
It was approximately 5 in the morning.
Okay. What was the nature of the call?
I came out as a welfare check.
Who else responded?
Deputy Broughton.
Just the two of you?
Yes, sir.
Were you driving different vehicles?
We were.
Did you arrive at the same or different times?
We rode to the residence at the same time. I got to the area slightly before him.
Did you wait for him before you approached the house?
I did.
Describe what you saw as you walked to the house.
When we approached the house, we could see that there was lights on inside. The house was dark, but there were a couple of lights on inside. And as we got closer, we could look into the window and see people inside.
Now, I know I asked you about what time the call was. I think you said 5 a.m.
Approximately.
How long did it take for you to get there? So what time did you get there?
It took about maybe 15 minutes to get there.
So you arrived about 5:15 a.m.
I believe so.
When you saw figures in the house, where were you in relationship to like the front door?
Looking at the front door, we were just to the right of it, and that's where a window was.
Describe what happened next.
We looked in the window and we could see where at least 2 occupants were. And then I knocked on the door to get their attention and have somebody come to the door.
Did someone answer it?
Yes,
Who was that?
it was Kenji Howard.
Did you and Deputy Broughton go inside
We did.
at the request of whom?
I believe I asked to come inside.
Did somebody grant that?
Yes, sir.
Who was that?
Kenji.
Tell us what took place next.
When I asked to come inside, and she allowed us to come in, and she immediately told me she wanted to leave. And I tried to talk to her about why we were there, and she was adamant that she wanted to leave.
Did you and Deputy Broughton split up, so to speak?
Yes, sir.
How did that work?
Deputy Broughton remained in the living room with Mr. Howard, and I went upstairs with Kimby.
Can you describe her demeanor for us?
When we first saw her at the house, she looked very anxious and very scared or worried. And then when she opened the door, she still had that, but then she looked relieved, but still anxious. But there was a sense of relief that came over her, it seemed like.
Were you with her then for a period of time upstairs?
Yes, sir.
And the same is true then for Deputy Broughton downstairs with Mr. Howard?
Yes, sir.
Were you wearing a body camera?
I was.
What's a body cam?
It's a body camera is a camera that records video and audio, and we wear it somewhere on our body so it can see what's in front of us. It doesn't necessarily see what we see, but it sees what's in front of us.
You have that on during your contact with Kim Howard?
I did.
Did it record your contact with Kim?
It did.
I've got two exhibits for you. First one is marked as 6A, it's a CD. Take a look at that, tell me if you recognize it.
I do.
You recognize that to be?
This CD or DVD contains my body camera footage.
Have you watched that?
I have. I have.
Is that an accurate contact with Kim Howard? 29, 2021, Howard?
It is.
Take a look at 6B for me. Will you recognize that?
This appears to be the transcript of the video. It depicts who said what and how it was responded. And
Have you read that and watched the 6B at the same time?
I have.
6B and accurate transcript of 6A.
It is.
6B, 6A.
In your objection? No. 6B and 6A are admitted. You may publish. Lights. I think it's okay. But let me check. Have you handed out the transcripts already to the jury? You said you were going to publish that?
No, not yet.
I'm not telling you you need to. It's whenever you want to do it. I just want to make sure they can see okay with everybody.
What is going on in that room?
Can you all see okay? With the light, so and you can take these off so it's easier to watch the body cam. But I'll kind of see what you can. Do you all have a preference? Okay.
Sheriff's office. He's on the couch. Sheriff's office. Hi, are you Kennedy? Hi, Kennedy. I'm Deputy Traw. We got a call from, I believe, a friend of yours. You mind if we come in and talk to you? It's a quiet dog. It's not that very honest. You must be Mr. Howard, Daniel? You go by Mr. Howard or Daniel? Or Dan, I guess. All right. You mind if we talk to you guys really quick? All right.
Can I get a
Yeah. Do you mind if I follow you? It's just a safety thing. I just don't know where you're going is all. In Kennedy, correct? So your friend and or mom's kind of concerned about you. I'm not sure who called us this all. What's going on today? Okay. Alright. What time did you get home? Oh, well, that's not jazz. It's been a while, right? So it's almost 6 a.m. now, so 12 hours. When did you guys start having to talk about having a divorce? Okay. So, you guys just been talking the whole time? Okay. What did you mean by you can't tell me what he was going to do? Okay. Well, we're here to help, but we need to make sure. Well, you absolutely can keep it here, man, but that's not my intention at all. I just want to make sure we're on the same page and try to figure out what happened, because your friends are a lot more worried about you than just, oh, it's the same old thing, it always happens, right? So can you tell me? Did it ever become physical? Okay. When you woke up, where was he? Okay. You were up here or a different room? Did the bed look like this, or? I just named there's stuff here.
Oh, I'm
so-
sorry.
About what time did you wake up? And he was standing over you on that side over there. Did he have anything in his hand, or did he say anything? I don't know, but that's what I'm hearing. I'm here to hear both sides of the story and figure it out.
I want a weekend.
Okay? I get that, but when your safety is in question, it's not causing problems, it's protecting yourself, right? Okay, we're gonna allow that to happen. Do you have a bag or suitcase up here, or do you want to grab one? Is anybody else here in the house? Are you decent over there? No, okay. I'll let you change your finger. We're good. Man, let me know when you're decent. where are you planning to go? Okay, what is it? I have no idea what that's happening. Okay. That's not, okay. Does he know where that's happening? Okay. Has anything like this happened before? Can you figure out tonight? There in the firearms in the house? I'm sure there is. If you're looking for a firearm, don't. Have you ever seen a gun in the house? So, okay. Do you think he has one on him right now? Did he know we were on him? Did you talk or did he just, okay. He seems pretty calm down there right now. Was their point? And I get that those are point where he wasn't, it was an argument like that. Well, this was always kind of just that calm. What do you think he was going to do? I know that, but I'd like to know what you think he's going to do, because it helps me out too, right? To see which direction I need to go. You know, I help him out too. Do you think he's going to hurt himself? Do you think he's going to kill you? And why do you think that now? Sorry, what was that? Just more of a feeling of that's okay. Just more of a feeling. Any other reason other than just like that? What? Okay. When you get down to the Filipino area, because I can't remember where you said. Camden? So when you get down to that area, do you think you'd be more willing to call us back and talk to us about what happened? Okay. I get that, but like I said, we're here to help you, and if you can, at least tell them that you're going to be safe, and then call us back once you're safe. Okay. Before you leave, can you wait up here while I go talk to him? I appreciate that. Okay. You want to think you brought him up here and kind of hang out, just like that, was okay? Deputy Broughton, do you mind going and hanging out with Kennedy for a second? Okay. That's right. I thought I said Kennedy. It's Kennedy. Kennedy. Sorry, all right. So what's the issue? She wasn't like talking. The issue is right now she kind of just wants to leave. Okay, so she's packing her bag. She's kind of told me a little bit about what happened tonight into her waking up. Did you talk to Deputy Brock about what happened? Apparently you got picked up at the airport today? Yes. What time was that? 6:30. Okay. Do you mind if I ask where you work? I didn't ask her. So, oh, nice. Is it the long days or the long nights right now? The last day? It's long nights.
As long as that's okay. I've never been there, so. What do you do up in Alaska? Nice. Okay. How often are you gone to coming back?
3 weeks. 3 weeks.
30 minutes. Quite a lot. So what happened after she picked you up? Anything of note?
We stopped Gray's, talking long and hard. Marital problems and, it's fine, we went back and went together. And, night I'm on with nights at their first thing I was
Sure.
just watching.
Where was she at?
Laying in bed.
This side or that side? Window side? And then you were sitting on your side of the bed or walking around the room?
Well, there's times I was everywhere.
Okay.
Keep the fire going.
She mentioned she thought she saw you standing over her when she woke up. You were just standing right beside her. Did that ever happen? When
I was
during sitting? Okay. Closer than usual, further than usual? Because something happened for us to get called, right? And a normal argument doesn't typically. Okay. She says the exact same thing. You guys never touched each other or raised voices, but she seems pretty stupid. Stupid? Do you have any firearms in the house?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Right. If you,
They're all the same.
is it garage or shop? Shop, okay.
I don't, they're going to the same.
Gotcha. Have you been out tonight at all, outside since?
I was working in the shop.
Any magazines in the house? She mentions she called it a clip, but she mentions she saw a magazine laying on the floor or something like that earlier tonight.
I get home, I'll usually take the other two up, one in the truck. One in here, one. She's a one in the house.
You haven't had time to go home house since you've been back?
Sometimes there's a part of the shop.
Fine.
In the closet. Hang on.
Gotcha. Fair enough. You can have as many as you want. I don't mind. I mean, I've got the same.
Let's see, shoot next.
She said she saw, and with the demeanor she saw from you tonight, she was a little alarmed, and she saw the magazine that made her even more alarmed. So I don't know. Have you ever had that thought before?
That would be psychological. And selfish thing. That you make it less
Good. You understand in our profession it's not a comedy to have those feelings and those thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Whether we've been to a lot of those calls or not, it's still a very common thing that's happening in our profession.
More shit from me.
Well,
I'm just concerned. But first I know I can't talk to her anymore.
how many kids do you guys have? Do they live local or are they? Oh, okay, so, yeah, local. As far as, yeah, okay. Not Alaska and, somewhere else, so at least in the county's pretty local, so. She's not doing a lot of talking, sir.
Yeah,
say that you did.
She said it to me. Did she
No,
say
not directly.
she saw the magazine?
So she saw me. She saw us. That coupled with the demeanor tonight is set her off. As in, uneasy.
I'm uneasy.
No, your demeanor matched the magazine when she saw me before. She'd rather leave for the night, so that's what Deputy Barton's helping facilitate in the bag and whatnot. Do you have a vehicle? Is it the one in the garage or is that her? Okay, I just want to make sure she's taking when you're concerned, is what it says, so. How long have you guys been married?
26 years.
Okay. With her saying that there's a magazine and now there's not, you're telling me that you don't have one on you and you don't have a firearm on you, right? If you don't mind, can I patch it out?
Yeah.
You wouldn't mind turning up there, putting your hands behind your back? No, I'm nervous, just gonna patch it out super quick. I appreciate it. Leash, no collar. Let's see. All right, well then.
All I want to do is should be comfortable.
I get it. So on your side, when you guys were discussing or did it ever become an argument? The possibly pending divorce or pending relationship issues or anything?
It's,
Did she ever raise her voice? No yelling or anything?
he's only on things.
Okay.
It's, I mean, it's probably inevitable, so we both are just trying to understand.
Sure.
She's
Not getting a lot of comments on how it is. The vagueness of what she's telling me, it's either she thinks you're gonna hurt yourself or her, I don't know. She's not something to do. That's what she said. That's what I'm reading. She's not.
She was just such a really good.
Okay.
All of a sudden, she got out there.
About what time?
So they were open. We were talking.
In the store?
We were talking. And she was on the phone with her dad. And we thought, well, shit, I don't know. Got some phone calls from obviously she called her dad. He's been in the hospital, he's okay. And she went upset with him. I was like, oh no, because he's had health problems with his daughter. And so she didn't want me around when she's talking. I said, okay, so I went upstairs. We went for her. So I come back. Everything's okay. She asked me to stay away. So I did. Heard something back from him, I'm sure.
The volume is horrible. Catch a word here and there, and it's nothing like the transcript on the screen.
She must. I mean, I was there. I don't want to be afraid.
Sure. I get that. Did anything become physical in regards to her touching you in a way that you don't want to touch? Okay. And then
Not the other way around, you grabbing her, touching her, or anything? Okay, well. Sure, I mean, touching in a way that's not normal, not like, yeah. Well, this is. Then I think we'll probably want to finish up then. And, get her to leave if that's what she wants to do, and then if you want to stay, you can stay, but we're gonna head out and see if you need anything else from us. Sure. I'll be right back. Yes. What was the dog's name? She's, okay. Just wanted to make sure she was still inside or something. Obviously, she's allowed to be outside, she's outside when we got here, so. I was gonna say, she wasn't very good at her job. I didn't hear her peep out of her until I turned around and she's standing behind me. You know. Oh, she was intimidating. No, I got you there. Can you use the shoe bag as well? Okay. All right. You doing a cell phone charger?
I am.
Perfect. You're going out that way, we'll go out this way. Okay, if you guys have any questions, please give us a call, okay?
That was really hard to understand. I hope we don't have a lot of that. I know, right?
Did you see any signs of intoxication in terms of,
I did not.
have you seen any signs of intoxication or being under the influence of anything? Would you let her drive?
Not at all.
And did she drive away from the house?
She did. Yes, sir.
No further questions?
Thank you. Cross-examination, Mr. Johnson.
Deputy, in this matter, this was your only involvement in this case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And, can you explain what's going on with the body cam?
Towards the end,
Well, as far as, well, we'll start there, yes. Towards the end.
the sound.
Yes.
So we have domestic violence pamphlets that we keep in our pockets. And obviously, I keep mine behind my camera, and that might not be the best place for it. But so I was trying to get those pamphlets, and that's what you heard me struggling with getting those out.
Then on the camera, you just had smudge on it.
There may have been some shot.
Okay. But you can tell, what color pants does he have on?
One more time.
What kind of color pants does he have on?
I think they're dark in color.
Like a gray, greenish?
I don't recall exactly.
Could you tell on the camera, or did you watch the, just now?
Not just now, I'm at an angle.
And he had a hoodie on?
I don't recall, I believe so, but I don't recall exactly what he was wearing.
Now, what was your understanding of why you were going to the call?
It was a welfare check that somebody was calling in, involving Cindy.
What, rephrase. Now, you and there was another deputy with you,
Yes, sir.
Broughton,
Yes, sir.
and you guys expressed together after this encounter some comments about this case.
I don't recall exactly what was said after.
Yeah, well,
Wow.
do you recall having a conversation with Deputy Broughton, you and him, about whether Ms. Howard was making more of something?
I know we talked on our way back to the car, but that was some time ago. I don't exactly know what was said.
Do you remember whether or not you said that you felt like she'd been either scared?
Objection, lack of foundation and hearsay.
Sustained.
Was that the end of your body cam recording?
I don't believe so. I believe things have been redacted.
Come on, Bubbles. Put your glasses on, Bubbles.
And do you have the plaintiff's exhibit 6B in front of you?
I don't.
Yeah, put your document.
Yeah.
And Deputy Broughton, you've already established that you're familiar with this document, right?
Yes, I am.
And so, reading page 25.
There's no objection, there's no 25, because it's exactly, it's 25 to 26.
Sustained.
You don't recall your conversation with Deputy Broughton?
Objection asked and answered, also not relevant.
Mr. Johnson?
It is relevant. Just saying.
Well, any conversation he has with Deputy Broughton, if I understand what you're asking to bring out, would be hearsay, nor would it be admissible in terms of its comment on credibility. So this whole line of questioning is not appropriate under those two rationales.
There you go, Bubbles.
Did you call back from Ms. Howard?
No, sir.
Do you know if she went back to her house next day?
I don't know.
Do you know if she was mad or anything like that?
Objection, lack of foundation, calls for speculation.
Your Honor, you observed her.
Well, to the extent he's described her demeanor, you can ask him. So I'll overrule that.
Do you know whether or not she was mad?
She didn't appear mad to me.
And that was a black and white Victoria's Secret bag that she was packing.
I don't know if it was a Victoria's Secret bag. It was a dark colored black and white bag.
And
Why would that matter?
she took that with her when she left.
I believe so. We didn't follow her out to her car, but she packed that.
Dan did not have a magazine on him.
No, sir.
He didn't have a weapon on him.
Not that I located.
He didn't have gloves on him.
No, sir.
Don't really push.
Lordy, lordy. Oh, there we go. We'll start an air vent. Lordy, lordy. Drives me nuts when they try and go beyond the scope, where they know, because they're professionals or should be, that the questioning is not allowed, and they go on with it and they go on with it. It drives me batshite crazy. Like, can't you just, if the person is innocent, you shouldn't have to make shite up. It's frustrating. You know, and the prosecution can't just throw random crap out there and hope it sticks. Please show us something other than the vent. I'll go back to the white fan looking curtains. Lordy, lordy. Feel like I'm 140. So it's just about 10 to 5 their time. I'm wanting to do an update on Madeline this evening. So as long as this doesn't go on till midnight, keep your eyes peeled for that. Don't forget to hit the bell, subscribe, like, share, and hit the bell. Okay. I know. That's what I was like, oh, look, event, right? Oh, my God. Okay, Wolfie. Thanks for stopping by. Much appreciated, as always.
You can continue.
So there's a 15-minute response time?
I don't know exactly, it was approximately that.
What time did you arrive?
Around 5:15 approximately.
And do you know, you said that you don't, his demeanor was calm?
Yes, sir.
Did you think that the story that you heard made sense to you?
Objection relevance is to this lay witness's opinion about someone else's credibility.
Or he's not a lay witness, he's an officer that interviews people all the time.
Well, his opinion of whether or not the story Ms. Howard told him is credible or not is not admissible, because that would be asking this witness to comment on another's credibility, which invades the province of the jury. So I will sustain the objection. Question? Redirect.
No, thank you.
Thank you, sir. You may step down.
May he be released from his subpoena.
You may. Or I'm assuming you may.
Yes.
Thank you.
So basically, he did nothing. Proved nothing.
Mr. Brickner, we're about 10 minutes to 5. Who's your next witness going to be? Do you want
Deputy Brown, and he's been out there all afternoon. He probably is gonna take more than 10 minutes, not much more, but more than that.
Okay. Do you want to start, or do you want to just, would it be more appropriate to break now?
Probably be easier to break.
Okay. All right, then we'll break for today. The jury, let me advise you once again not to discuss this case amongst yourselves or with anyone else, or to form an opinion as to concerns.
And we're back to the event.
Just leave the notebooks in your chairs, and my dear assistant here.
All righty, guys. So thank you very much for hanging out with me. That was a little bit dry for a while there, so I hope that they pick up a pace. I'm also going to keep my eyes peeled because James Crumbly is supposed to be starting trial. So if that is there, I'm probably going to bounce back. If they don't stream it, okay. But if they're streaming it, I think because we watched all of Jennifer's and we've been going through the Miller hearings, it's probably a good idea to do that. And if we can, we'll catch the end of this. Sound good? Sound good. Okay, guys, stay till the end, Andy. You're going to like this. I'll do this. I'll keep my eyes peeled better. Okay, guys, thank you ever so much for being here with me. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.